Okay, people, we gonna get into this video. Then I gotta go get my pump on. Yeah. Then I gotta go get my pump on. Yeah. Then I gotta go get my pump on. All right, let's get into this shit. So, all right, guys, you saw the thumbnail. So here's the deal. The WWE is willing or making a huge offer to Mariah May. Okay, I read the whole story, and that's pretty much what it's about. And we haven't seen Mariah May or heard from her since she lost her title to Toni Storm. Now, if you guys remember, when Mariah May beat Toni Storm and Toni Storm disappeared, I saw her, the last match I saw Toni Storm, I saw her in Japan and I saw her in AAA. And I remember seeing an article same way about the WWE interested in Toni Storm. And the amount of people, Wrestle Talk, all these other, big channels were talking about Toni Storm could possibly be going back to the WWE, this and this and that, and, we haven't seen her since, yada yada, and whatever. Okay, well, turns out Toni Storm said nope, and she came back to AEW. Now, wherever she would have chosen, hey, more power to her. Okay, and what happens? It was more of a surprise. It was better because it didn't get sabotaged by spoilers. Now, I don't know what Mariah May plans are, and she had a great run as women's champion in AEW. If she goes to WWE, that's her business. She's another one I was watching in her stardom days, the independent circus. I was watching. I say, it's like I said, I know who most of these people are by the time they make it to AEW or WWE or TNA or whatever. So, MLW. So, yeah. Now, when people talk trash, like some big mouth came in my comment section, oh man, just because WWE didn't, I even stopped reading that shit because I already knew where he was going. You see the problem, they act like negotiations don't matter, but it does. Now, ask yourself, why would WWE be willing to make her a huge offer? These are the same people that said AEW paying Mercedes Moné and Swerve Strickland huge amounts of money is bad for business. Whose business? You guys are too stupid. For those of you who are too stupid to even understand how greedy, how selfish, and how egotistical these people are. That would be like somebody watching you buy food and say, oh man, come on, man. You take your one on a date and say, you making it bad for me. How the fuck am I making your date bad for you? Because when my woman see you spending this much money on your woman, she gonna expect me to do the same thing. Mind your fucking business. Don't worry about what I spend. Focus on what you spend. And this is all that was. Now, what is it about Mariah May? I know what it is. It's a chess move. Some of you are too dumb to understand this. We don't want her to go back to AEW. She's a big-time player in the AEW. Former women's champion. Let's bring her here if we can and stick her on NXT. Our developmental show. Let's take a former world champion and put her on a developmental show. Like Julia. Like Jordan Grace. This is all that they do. They don't know what the fuck they're going to do with them once they get them. It's just, let's try to get them from AEW. Tony Khan said it flat out. And Jade Cargill said the money wasn't the offer. That wasn't the issue. They say AEW offered her a lot of money. And Tony Khan said he was surprised because he offered her a lot of money. But, he had no indication she was going to go to WWE, but hey, that's where she wanted to go. And hey, I wish her nothing but the best. And that's what she did. And now look, everybody's talking about, oh, she should go back to AEW. Oh, yeah. Remember how all the rumors about Wardlow was going to go to WWE and this one was going to go and them? Oh, Tony Khan's keeping these people out of in their contracts. And yeah, let's try to make AEW look bad. WWE is not even worried about AEW. Oh, yes, the fuck they are. You think that they know about Mariah May because of what she did in Stardom some years ago? You think that they know about anybody in AEW because of another promotion? You know, you don't think that they want these wrestlers? Of course they fucking do. You don't think Tony Khan want release wrestlers from WWE? Of course he does. What type of fucking businessmen and women would you fucking be? I remember a show on Monday Night Raw that was in St. Louis. And the show was awful. I mean, this show was so awful. They had a guy come out with a Barack Obama mask on. They had a woman come out with an Oprah Winfrey mask on. And this is one of the stupidest, I really was watching this like, what the hell are they doing? And the whole crowd start chanting, TNA, TNA. Yeah. The whole crowd started chanting TNA, right? That's how bad this shit was. And so my whole thing with that was they were saying the same thing back then. Oh, Vince McMahon isn't even worried about TNA. Well, he was worried less about TNA for this reason. See, TNA didn't have a billionaire behind their product. See, he knows TNA couldn't pay wrestlers what the WWE could. MLW can't. New Japan can't. Okay. CMLL can't. AAA can't, which he now has acquired. AEW can, and they do. And this is why it bothers them more. Because for TNA to get to that next level means they had to have big time players where, remember when John Cena that night told Vince McMahon, if you think you're going to fire me, I will walk off of this show and walk right on to somebody else's show, brother. Because remember, that's when Hogan was running things in TNA. Yeah. You think that was something that you did? You know that John Cena said that on his own. Vince didn't tell him to say that, right? You know that was off script. And I remember the story following up that. So yeah, TNA would need John Cena, Undertaker, Kane. They would need those at AAA. They would need those type of guys at the time for them to go to that next level. That's what they would have needed. They didn't have that. They had it somewhat because the guys that had that type of star power and name was older, much older at that point. And they had Sting. Sting was still, strong and all whatever. They had Sting, but Kurt Angle. But what I'm saying is they needed more. Because storyline wise, what they had going on, when you have older minds, like not older, like old fashioned older minds, let's put it like that, where certain things that work for Harley Race and Dory Funk Jr. And do you understand what I'm saying? Now we're in an era where no. And so they're pretty much Hogan, Bischoff, they're just running things their way. Okay, but bottom line, it was the same thing. They don't see them as competition. It was too many uphill battles, and bottom line, the biggest thing they had, it was just the financial backing. Being able to, pay these guys, because when contracts are up, Sting wound up finally going, Booker T went back, Kurt Angle went back, Hall and Nash had a Legends deal, so they wound up going back. Samoa Joe ended up going. AJ Styles ended up, you understand? Little by little, all of those guys wind up going. So now that you have another multi-billionaire that can match what you can pay, it's like, oh shit, okay, let's go for their top guys when their contracts is up. Now, why were they so concerned about what Strickland was getting paid? Dutch Mantel ran his mouth and he didn't know what he's talking about. Mercedes Moné cleared the air on that. Did you hear any response from WWE to say that it wasn't true? No. She told them no. They reached out to me. She said I turned them down. It was creative differences, and she didn't speak to try to burn bridges with them, but she made it clear that no, it was my decision. I feel like AEW was the best fit for me. It had nothing to do with money. And yes, I'm making way more money with AEW than I ever did in WWE. Okay. But it wasn't about them trying to lowball her. They didn't tell her, oh, you're asking for too much money. But like she said, it was other things, creative wise, and they couldn't, they wasn't on the same page. So no, they didn't want to use Mercedes Moné. Like, you think Mercedes Moné would be doing the same things right now? She'd be walking around in WWE with 4 belts. Huh? Do you think so? No. And mind you, the entire time that she was there, Mariah May was the champion. They never crossed paths. She never crossed paths with Toni Storm, except for recently when you saw Toni Storm come out and applaud. So at some point, of course, she just answered a question the other day on her live. She said, someone asked, did she plan on going back to WWE anytime soon? And she put, nope. Typed in, no. Simple. This is what I'm saying about people. When they feel like you're not going back to WWE, they want to write you off. We all know if Mercedes Moné popped up in WWE tomorrow, whatever building they're in would lose their fucking minds. And you know it. Welcome back. Welcome. You already know it. But here's the thing about it, right? They have budgets. Okay, and when you start just trying to stack a roster of people up, what ends up happening is you get more people than you can handle. Do you have material for these people? Do you have interesting storylines? Or do you just have them on your roster? That's what ends up happening. You heard me say a million times, even like with AEW, they don't need to just depend on released WWE guys. And Tony Khan wound up reiterating what I said, so he gets it. It's like, no, you need to take who you have and learn how to build character, because you already put the great matches on, and not depend on someone that's from the WWE. Not saying exclude them, but what I'm saying, you can't take just anybody. And this is why the crowd reacts differently to wrestlers like Ricochet, the Swerve Strickers, the Tony Storms, people that already had great potential but was overlooked and misused. And that's why they react differently, because they know Christian Cage, they know, nah, this guy was shortchanged, man. He's much better than they gave him credit for, And this is what I'm talking about. Why are you willing to pay Mariah May? Someone, why? Someone who's never been on your roster, why are you willing to make her a huge offer? Because they know they have to. If they tell her, we'll pay you the same things that AEW is paying you, okay, then what purpose is she leaving for? To go and do what? Just to say I'm in WWE? Doing what? Now, what happens when Mariah May comes in and after they do all that fake, the women's division, NXT has the best women's division, and like there's so much love. Yeah, fuck out of here. You're wrestlers, you're competitors, man. Hell out of here with that nonsense. So what you think happens? Somebody else feels like, man, I've been here all this time and she just come walking in through the back door and she's making all this money? Nah. What do you think happens to these people that's been there for a while already? They want a raise or they want out of their contract. And then when they end up going to AEW, everybody wants to interview them and what happened. Well, someday, do you plan on going back? Or they always ask the same stupid, lame questions. So now, if you don't have anything for these people, what's the greed about? It's a chess move, like I said. And that's what they do. Now, if you go for it, that's on you. But Mariah May, like example, when Mariah May, her and Tiffany Stratton was pretty much rising through the ranks of each company around the same time. Only Mariah May turned on Toni Storm, shocked everybody. The way she did it, that was beautifully done. And I didn't see that shit coming when it happened either. That's when it's done right, when you don't see that shit coming. And pretty much, she became champion way before Tiffany Stratton. Mariah May is way better than Tiffany Stratton. See, but as long as she's not in a WWE ring, WWE fans don't want to admit that. But if Mariah May does sign with WWE, what's the first thing they're going to, yes, that's what you guys do. Now check this out, right? Stephanie Vacure, where's the first time most of these fucking people seen her? They wasn't watching her in no fucking AAA. They remember her coming through that forbidden door, wrestling against Mercedes Moné, and she chose to go to WWE. Great. No hate for her. No, I don't know why anybody cares that much about this stuff that they get angry and get in their feelings about it. It's just really, you go where you want to go. Julia went there, and I remember all the rumors that Camille was going to be next, and no, Camille went to AEW. I don't know what's up with Camille now, but at the end of the day, when Megan Bayne, I remember Megan Bayne actually, she wrestled on an episode of AEW Dark. I don't remember who she wrestled, but I've known about Megan Bayne for a while now. And when Megan Bayne came back more recently, she's one that I talked about. I did a video about. I created her on Fight Forever. Okay, just like I created Camille. But I'm like, you know what? I really wish they would go get Megan Bayne. They got Megan Bayne. And pretty much as far as Megan Bayne goes, she's better than she's better than Tiffany Stratton. She's better than Jade Cargill. You see the way Megan Bayne wrestles? That's more of what Jade Cargill should be trying to do. They're trying to make Jade Cargill like some hybrid, all around. I can go through the air. That's not who Jade Cargill is. Not that she can do the jump off the top rope stuff. She can do that type of stuff. But that is what Jade needs to be doing. Like I told you in the video before, Megan Bayne is everything Jade Cargill is supposed to be. That's what Jade is supposed to be doing. Some of you are too stupid to understand it, though. Let's just say it like it fucking is. You don't take fucking George Foreman and try to make him dance around and jab and box like Ali. You let George Foreman go and wreck some shit the way he does. That's what I'm saying. You can't fucking just take a person and, this is our style. No, it's not our style. I have to work with you and look at your strengths and weaknesses. It's as simple as that. Jordan Grace is better than Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton. But who has the belt? Tiffany Stratton. And she botches all the time. So yeah, they want Mariah May. Of course, all of these companies try to get... Look, you guys know what Matt Riddle is right now? He's champion over there in MLW. Yeah. When he was released and people was talking about the possibility of him going to AEW, I'm like, I'm not really into Matt Riddle, man. And I remember him from MLW before he came to WWE. And I don't see him bringing any value to AEW. There's certain people like Baron Corbin. I'm like, I don't want to see this dude in AEW. Hey, he brings no value to AEW. He's just another guy that was in WWE. That's all. And it's like, nah, we don't. For what? Bring him in for what? What do we need with Baron Corbin? Right? Of course, it would have to be a character change at some point, because this dude is boring, man. There's nothing that Baron Corbin does that I care about personally. Who else? Who else was released that they're talking about? And the thing, if you take even like Cedric Alexander, if he would be coming to join the Hurt Syndicate, nothing personal, man, but like, see, he didn't get to do anything in the WWE. So there's really nothing that, other than him just rejoining Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, that I would feel like for what? Like, what is it that he brings to the table that people care about? See, this is what I'm saying. He's been ruined in the WWE when they broke the Hurt Syndicate up. Who was, of course, the Hurt Business at the time, but they ruined him. He did nothing. So it's not just bringing people in. Like, if Bayley left WWE, Bayley could do some things in AEW, but Bayley has gotten to the point in WWE where they book her so poorly that the crowd barely reacts to Bayley. But she has respect on her name. So she could bring some value to the women's division as well. I just know that when it comes to wrestlers leaving the WWE, and people assume because of, what type of caliber wrestler they are, that they're going to try to go to AEW. Everybody that's released, though, AEW doesn't need. WWE shows great interest. You think they don't want Adam Page? Hell yeah, they want Hangman Adam Page. You think they don't want MJF? Fuck yeah, they want MJF. You think they don't want Powerhouse Hobbs? Hell yeah, they want Powerhouse Hobbs. And the thing is, the difference with AEW and WWE is AEW want these guys to add to the roster, at least to try to make the product, hey, get bigger names, hey, more people, more eyes to the product. WWE is more focused on, let's just take them from AEW if we can. And they show you that once they get there. And that's why I say, even like when Keith Lee came, okay, understand for name's sake, and not that they shouldn't have tried to do something with him, and I'm not saying that they didn't, but Keith Lee, I never thought much of him when he was in WWE. I never thought much of fucking Aleister Black when he was in WWE. So I never really cared much about these dudes, man. Like, to me, I just, even Miro, I felt like, now Miro was different because Miro was hot at the time. And this Rusev Day shit was hot. But it wasn't really nothing about Miro that I found special, man. I've never seen him like, yo, that was a great match. You understand what I'm saying? It's just more familiar faces versus less familiar faces. So I got that from a business standpoint. But there was nothing about their skill set. This guy, Andre El Idolo, how do you say his name? Nothing special about him either, man. And then notice these people are all from different places. So when you travel, you go to take your show on the road to different countries. They have these different wrestlers that, oh shit, that's such and such. That's they more people to come out to support their countrymen type of thing. But in terms of just having these guys on the roster, it's like not, and it's not that they can't perform, man. But what I'm saying is these are guys that just don't turn heads the way that people would want to see. But you think if you put them on TV more, but it's like, yeah, but look at how they're being used since they've been back. Aleister Black just came back last night, but look at how they've been used since they've been back. They've been doing nothing. It's always the same thing with the Latino wrestlers. They take them and make them stable and throw a bunch of luchadors together, some same typical, stereotypical type groups. They do the same things it's always the same shit. And when these wrestlers are telling you that they're happy or wherever they are, look, they go where they go. That's their call. That's their call. What are we going to do? I'm not going to lose my cool and sit up here and cry, worry about it. They go wherever they go. This stuff is just entertainment. That's it. Now, if you look at who else did they just who else just left? Like for example, when Nick Nemeth left, I'm saying please don't come to AEW, man. You notice when these guys go to TNA, do you see like a huge increase in their audience? And no, their viewership, no. This is my point. Now, a guy like Nick Nemeth would have been a guy that would have been respected by the AEW crowd because they would have also known this dude had been put on the shelf. They haven't done anything with him. He came to TNA. He became champion in no time. He's now heel. Him and his brother, remember Ryan Nemeth was over in AEW, and then Ryan Nemeth came to TNA. And once again, nobody's talking about these guys. Certain people just don't bring the value to the company. They just are former release wrestlers that was once a part of WWE. And I'm naming these people because it's like I say, even like when Naomi left, I was never crazy about Naomi. It was just Naomi, just her character alone, man, is like that glow shit, them little soft moves that she do. I just never really got into Naomi, but it's like that's what I look at when a wrestler's released. I don't look at them like, okay, go get that person, because they're not big draws, and they're not going to bring any more value to the company than the company already has. And that's just what people fail to understand when certain people are released. This is exactly why. Now, when I'm saying, why are they so concerned about what AEW is paying Swerve? Why do they care? When they had Swerve, they didn't see the value in him. When they had Mercedes Moné, they truly didn't see the value in her either. That's why her title reigns was short. That's why they wasn't worth a shit. And she had to turn heel to even keep the belt for a little bit of time. And then she had to cheat to beat everybody. She's a heel now, and she's crushing shit. She doesn't even need fucking Camille. Do you understand? She was crushing shit before Camille, with Camille, and now without Camille. And this is what people have felt. She's like, I mean, she's undefeated. The only blemish on her record was a tag match where Harley was the one that got pinned, not her. But bottom line, she's in there killing it. Her and Athena just had a banger of a match the other a couple of weeks ago. You know, and bottom line, this is what I'm saying that people don't understand. Like, even like Athena, look at all the people that left. You think that they left because they were so happy in the WWE? No. The WWE let you go out, you reinvent yourself, you end up being a top dog wherever you go, then they want you back. And they do much of nothing with you when you come back for the most part. Now look at Tiffany Stratton. I just feel like with her, I don't want to see her in AEW, man. Like, personally, just, like, stay in WWE, man. You know, I can't take her voice. I just can't get into Tiffany Stratton, man. I watch her, put it like this, when she wrestle and she's on, you know, she's on top of her game, I can deal with her more than, listening to her talk is so annoying. And her matches are, you know, it's nothing special about Tiffany Stratton. This is what I'm saying. It's nothing. Look, when you want to push a wrestler and you try to make them appear to be better than what they are, no, I get it. And you put them in there with certain people, we get it. But when I look at Tiffany Stratton, nothing personal against her, man, nothing like that. I just don't see anything special in her. Plain and simple. This is what I'm saying. Even when I was watching them back then, remember I did a video. Like, Mariah May is way better than Tiffany Stratton. They got the better female champion over here with Tiffany and with Athena. Athena's killing it over there in Ring of Honor. So, I mean, look at who's who, right? And as dominant as you think Bianca would be, as strong as she is, right? The biggest, the strongest, all that shit. It's like every match I see Bianca in, it's like she's fighting for her life. Every match, she's so desperate to get that move. It's like she's everything with her is always this. It's the same shit. Her matches go the same way, pretty much. But it's not her fault, man. It's the way they book her. But Bianca is solid. The thing is, what I'm saying, none of these people are dominant, and nobody stands out. Like Brock stood out. Andre the Giant stood out. The Ultimate Warrior stood out. Honky Tonk Man, as annoying as he was, he stood out. Hulk Hogan, as limited as he fucking was, his bitch ass stood out. Macho Man stood out. The British Bulldog stood out. The Moondogs stood out. The Animal and Hulk stood out. Fuck, the Killer Bee stood out. This is what I'm saying. Papa Shango stood out. The Undertaker stood. You don't. This is what I'm saying. So none of these wrestlers are doing this shit. So I'm watching the character change, and AEW, and I'm liking the change that I'm seeing. But it's like, example, go look at old Street Fighter games, old Mortal Kombat games, right? And look at the characters then versus how they make them now. Now you got fucking Omni-Man in fucking Mortal Kombat. You got Conan the Barbarian. Huh? Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? You got movie characters. And it's like, so shit changes. The creativity of the people change. But everything isn't for the better. And I don't understand how people come from a wrestling background don't see this. I remember one of Sting's more recent interviews, he was asked about, like, people asked him about changes. What changes did he see in wrestling that he feel like they should revert, something, go back to being the way they were? He and Sting said characters. Like, yeah, the characters don't. And Sting was different. Sting stood out. Luger stood out. And that's what he was saying. He was like, the characters don't pop anymore. It's like everybody just have the same. I'm like, goddamn, dude, are you reading my mind? That's exactly what I've been saying. They just don't stand out. These characters just don't stand out. They come out trying to look psychotic. It's like everybody just, when they try to all do the same thing. And this era of WWE is just bouginess. And it's just a bunch of immature stuff. Like, it just kiddie stuff. Now look at Mariah May. She's a conceited, arrogant, stuck-up, mean, hard-hitting. I will bleed in the match. I will take huge bumps. I will fuck you up. You understand? Mariah May is a menace. She's not some Barbie doll. I see characters like Sol Ruka, and I'm like, she may be one of the fan favorites in NXT. I love her look, and I'm just not into her style. Like, her style to me, just like nothing she does look like it hurts. And then all this stretching and splits and all. Remember they used to have Naomi doing that, on handstands and cartwheels and splits, and it's like that guy Reggie flipping all over the ring, and like what is all of this shit, man? In fact, he just wrestled. Who the hell did he wrestle the other day? I think Reggie wrestled against Moose. Reggie wrestled against Moose. And I'm like, now let's just get this straight. He was getting bitched by Shayna Baszler. He was getting bitched by Nia Jax. He couldn't beat anybody. He was in squash matches. Then they put him in some ridiculous looking outfit with some mask on. And I forget the little bullshit trio they had. And Moose is in here struggling to beat this guy. Moose, your TNA X Division champion, is in here struggling to beat fucking Reggie. Do you see the point what I'm telling you? These are not people that we need. Sonya Deville, I never thought much of Sonya Deville. Shayna Baszler was a killer. But you know what? You know, kind of reminds me of Shayna Baszler. I forget her name. That little short, stocky, little chick. She's the shortest chick they had in AEW. I think she's German. And I don't know what's going on with her. I don't even know if she's still in Ring of Honor. But, you know, if you're going to bring in the Shayna Baszler, put it like this. I don't think that the fans really cares about Shayna Baszler. That's what I'm saying. And I think her showing up in AEW, it doesn't do anything. Now, one wrestler that left WWE for a while ago, who I feel like could show up and she get a good pop and get people to pay attention to, would be Ronda Rousey. And I believe that a lot of people started talking shit about Ronda Rousey because they thought that's probably what was going to happen. But when I look at, look at wrestlers like The Rock, people that never left WWE for another company, Triple H, Stone Cold. Not talking about where they come from. I'm talking about where they stayed at the longest and never left the WWE. The Undertaker, right? It's not many. You got to put food on your table. And the thing is, it's not about just accept the job we give you. No, when you still have something to offer. That's why Adam Copeland wasn't ready to take no fucking Legends deal and just hang it up. He still had more to give. And so instead of, this whole let's play stupid and pick a side to where we won't watch the sport that we claim we like so much, or the whatever the genre that we claim we love so much. But no, I don't care about that. If Mariah May goes to WWE, yeah, I'm gonna watch and check out to see what's going on with her. Yeah. If Megan Bayne was the same thing. If I don't like the product, then I don't like it, and I'll say I don't like it. But at the same time, if I like it, I'll say I like what they're doing with that person. But for you guys that don't understand how business works and you don't use common sense. Oh, they're not even worried about these. Yeah, that's arrogance talking. They're not worried. Of course they're worried. Of course they're concerned. You guys don't get it. And in fact, this is what made me laugh the other day. And I was talking about this and I said, look at a company that's been in existence for 5 years. And people hate them so much, but always watch. They talk all this shit, but they just can't not watch and can't not talk about them. And in 5 years, they're on Max. They landed at TBS, TNT. They had 3 goddamn shows. And the reason why Rampage went is because they have 2-hour shows, 2-hour shows. They have Ring of Honor. If they keep Rampage on, that means when they do tapings, they have to have an extra long taping. How many fans you think gonna sit through that shit? So yeah, they're gonna pick and choose. Are we watching Rampage or Ring of Honor? And more than likely, they're gonna choose Rampage over Ring of Honor. And what's gonna happen is Ring of Honor is gonna be, yeah, hardly anybody there. So guess what? One of them had to go. We get it. Like Tony Khan said, oh, we've had many meetings about Ring of Honor, but it's not a rush. It's about doing it the right way and making sure that we have the best possible situation when we do it. And that's what that is. But instead of people going, hey, man, in 5 years, man, TBS, TNT, bam, now they on Max. Hey, man, and these guys are doing their thing. Nah, they're going to be out of business. Y'all said all the same shit about TNA. They're going to be out of business. I heard Ric Flair, Booker T, all these other wrestlers talk all this negative shit. And the funny thing about it, and this is what I don't respect on anybody. They all said that shit, but they all went there and was earning paychecks. Yeah. That means your heart, that means your interest is not really there. It's all about the money. You know, like Robert Garcia, the boxing trainer, who said, you can't fix Anthony Joshua. Nah, he's ruined. He can't be fixed. Guess what? Year and a half later, was it? 2 years? Yeah. Guess who ended up training him? Yeah, and I don't know if Anthony Joshua had ever saw that video initially, but I'm pretty sure at some point he did. And I guess he realized, yeah, this motherfucker, I can't be fixed. And he went there and lost his rematch against Usyk. It's what I'm saying. TNA this, TNA that, TNA paid me to sit home. I mean, I had to build, man. But you was earning a paycheck, though. You didn't say, hey, man, listen, I don't want to take your money, man. I'm not doing anything to earn this. I think I'm just going to go back to WWE. And, no. Of course, you gladly took that money. But then talk shit about the company. But now WWE is doing business with them, so now you don't talk shit about them anymore. So yeah, they are willing to pay her huge money to get her. They have huge interest in her. Yeah, I read the whole article. They're really big on Mariah May. Well, if Mariah May, like I said, ends up going, all these people going to lose their shit chanting, for Mariah, and they're so happy. But if she stays in AEW, because she's still contracted with them. But if she decides to stay in AEW, guess what? Now all of a sudden, oh, well, we didn't need her. Right, just like Stephanie Vacure, right? Right, just like Julia. Well, I'm all about, what's going on in wrestling, man. That's good. I'm all about what the real situations are, not this fake hypothetical. But hey, listen, always understand this. Contracts are always going to expire. There's always going to be new wrestlers coming in every company. That's just the way it goes. They might not go to the company that you want to see them go to, but you or me or nobody else has the right to dictate where they go. And here's the thing, you're going to go, and either you're going to be satisfied with what's going on or you're not. But, I mean, everybody has that choice and that right. So for me to sit here, and I think that you are all very phony when you say shit like, oh, Mercedes Monet's not this, she's not that, but then you guys are going on her lives begging her to come back to WWE. Like, why the fuck do you care where she is? And she's in there putting on and putting her body on the line just like any other wrestler, and her shit's entertaining. But it's because it's not the WWE banner. You guys don't realize when you are a slave to something, you make dumb decisions and you say stupid things. You can like whatever you like, but there's a way to conduct yourselves. And truthfully, I don't understand the hostility and the whole, oh, but this, that, why would she go? So in other words, fuck what makes you feel good, Mercedes. Fuck what makes you happy. Fuck what's better for you. It's all about me as the fan. And because I'm obsessed and think that I have the right to control what you guys do, I think you should go back. I remember one time she kind of went off on this guy. People in the comment section, oh, this is how you treat your fans and this, right? And I'm like, man, because I had made a comment and I said in the comment section, not even to anybody directly, but I posted that this is what happens when you assume. And then the person responded to me saying, oh, he didn't assume anything. She's just nasty, and this is how she treated her fans. I said, yeah, let you tell it. She could be nasty. She could be an arrogant, pompous person. I don't know. I said, but at the same time, mind your fucking business, because I know who this guy is that's asking her that stupid ass question. He got dealt with the way he did for a reason. Go do your fucking homework. And this guy was a guy with a YouTube channel, and he was making accusations that she was basically I forgot what the hell the guy said about her. He said a lot of things, but this particular situation with her, even like her being pregnant, all this kind of just a bunch of different shit. And then the assumption that she was trying to come back to WWE. And instead of, now, you know, when somebody asks you a question, like if somebody say, do you know who broke that vase around the corner? Versus going, you broke that vase, or you know who broke that vase, don't you? It's a difference from someone asking you, so you can, they can educate you on whatever it is you're asking, versus I'm asking you to tell you I know that you did it. So he was basically like saying, because I don't remember the part where she started to snap on him, but the part where he started, he was like basically telling her, asking her to tell her he knows what her intentions was for something, and she basically put him in his place. And like she said, people always love to assume, but don't know what they're talking about. It's like, if you don't hear it from me, then how can you say what I'm doing? I don't care what somebody else tell you. You don't hear it from me. Don't go and tell me what. Well, I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. No, that's not what you're saying. You're telling me something. You're talking like you know what I'm doing or what my intentions were. So tell me, what are my intentions? Well, exactly. So ask instead of assuming. And the guys are, oh, look how she's talking to her fans or whatever. Like, man, shut your bitch ass up. This is exactly what people do. And they act like, you owe it to someone to take their bullshit. And that's why I said, y'all got so much to say about Mercedes Moné or any other wrestler who hasn't done anything to anybody, but you want to forgive racist ass Hulk Hogan. Oh, all of what he did, fuck him. Because without the fans, he has nothing. So it goes hand in hand. You helped the genre helped you helped the genre, the fans helped everybody, because without the fans, guess what? And way before Hulk Hogan, Bruno Sammartino was also selling out arenas. And you know what I never heard? I never heard nothing about Bruno Sammartino making racial slurs, calling people niggas, crackers, honkies, whatever the fuck, spicks, chinks, nothing. But Hulk Hogan has. And he's been given time after time, second, third, fourth chances, just to keep doing the same thing. Yeah, bottom line, man. It's, people get fooled by bullshit. You don't stand for anything. You just take whatever someone throws at you. And because you feel beneath these people, this is exactly why. Like, did you notice the chick crying when Becky Lynch came out at WrestleMania? I used to, even as a kid, I remember seeing, videos of Michael Jackson performing. And I'm like, why the fuck are people crying and falling on the floor? I don't get this shit. The man comes out and then jumping up and for what? I remember Michael Jackson came on stage and this motherfucker, the light came on and he did that little funny sound he does. Then he just stood there in this one pose for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. And the crowd is screaming like fuck. I'm like, he didn't even do shit yet. What the? And when they pan the crowd, they're literally passing, fainting. Wow, man. In fact, in case you didn't see it, you probably could see it on TikTok. They might have it on YouTube as well. Type in a married woman crying over Usher, or crying over Usher, or married woman cheating with Usher on concert, whatever the fuck. They were at a show. This woman is married. Usher is like this close in her face, staring, smiling, and she's closing her eyes and biting her lip and making faces like she's having a fucking orgasm or something. Okay. And then she's telling Usher, I'll do whatever you want me to do. Just tell me whatever, anything, right? And then the follow-up video is her husband packing his shit, cursing her out, and then leaving her. And she like, everybody was just having a good time at this show. Why you so dramatic? And then you're like, nah, this and that. He was kidding. When she starts walking away, where you go? Come back in. Where are you going? This is you guys. This is a lot of you. If that woman had respect for herself, Usher wouldn't have been able to do that. Simple. And he'd have been embarrassed at his own show. You know, I'm compelled to go along with it. No, you don't stand for anything. That's why when Triple H said, I want to tell you guys to fuck off, yeah, you deserve it. Don't get mad at him. You know why you shouldn't get mad at him? Because your anger is only temporary. Because you'll forget, no, this is how this motherfucker truly feels. He didn't just say that shit. He wasn't in character. He wasn't saying it just to say it. No. Just accept this bullshit. As long as you're paying, that's all we care about. I used to go in this store and buy clothes, and I remember this guy like, man, I love to see you come in because I love taking your money, man. I know you're going to come bless us, right? You know. But they would do shit like I would go in and buy whatever, and then he'd be like, yo, man, go throw 2 pair of socks in there for free, you know, baseball cap or something for free, a t-shirt for something like that. So it was like, yo, it's a respect thing here. You understand? I wasn't expecting that. They didn't have to do that. But what I'm saying is that was an open, honest comment. And I told her, I said, I love taking my money, motherfucker. That's why I see your ass smiling before I even walk in the door. And they just all start like, come over, hug me up and everything. Like, you know, yeah, it's business. You think these motherfuckers want people to just walk in here, hey, y'all got some nice stuff. All right, see you. No, they want you to buy. But him and any of them making those gestures like, nah, dude just came in here and threw $200. Come on, man. Throw a couple, 2 free t-shirts, 2 hats. That's what they would do. That's what they would do. It was a respect thing. These dudes are multi-millionaires, man. The company's a multi-billion-dollar company. The fuck is wrong with you? You know, you guys think that these people... See, Tony Khan doesn't want to be the star of the show. Tony Khan will come out, address the audience, thank them. He'll big up the wrestlers and stuff, the fans, everybody, the cameramen, the people, right? All you remember, Tony Khan was doing that shit first. Cody Rhodes is in the AEW ring, shouting out the cameraman, knew these people's names, the people backstage, all of that. Wait, they were doing it. WWE was doing that shit. So when I saw that shit in the ring, do you know this guy? Do you know Cody cut the same exact promo in WWE as he could in AEW? With that whole, the guys backstage, the cameramen, the guys at the vending machine. Oh, yeah, that's him trying to say he know these guys, he cares about them, and he's, but that's my whole thing, guys. These people only care that you buy their pay-per-views, that you just keep making them rich. Why do you have to be such pussies when it comes to these people and act like, oh, you're going to defend the WWE? Fuck you, man. Only thing you're doing is making yourself look stupid. If Mercedes Moné, she's killing it right now. If she decides to go running back to the machine one day, cool. That's her business. What's she going to do if they fuck over again? Complain about what she already knew? How many times have the fucking Hardys been in WWE? Then Jeff gets himself in trouble and do some dumb shit, get caught drunk or some shit, driving and high or whatever the fuck, back and forth, right? And then when they were in AEW last, are you at the meetings? Do you know what they talk about behind closed doors? Do you know what's actually going on? No, you don't. Oh man, they should be using the Hardys. They should be, okay, the Hardys is in TNA. Are you watching them? Are you showing support to the Hardys? Just you love the Hardys so much? See, that's my point. So shut the fuck up, because it's only because they were in AEW that you were saying this shit. They're in TNA, they're the champions. Do you even fucking know? Did you see that garbage ass cinematic match that they had the other day? They still doing a Hardy compound thing. Man, this shit was so fucking stupid. It's not even funny anymore. It got to the point where I'm looking at this shit and I'm like, get back to this Hardy compound shit. The match wasn't even entertaining. The stuff was just making no sense. It was terrible. It was terrible. And I'm just trying to really understand how. Like I'm telling you, and this is what I said, man. If you watch any form of wrestling and say, if you're looking for something particular, you're more than likely not gonna find what you're looking for. If you see what a company is doing, look at their direction and respect their direction, and understand it's different, you're more likely to like what you're seeing then. Because what I'm saying is, when you start having expectations of what something should be, what are you basing that on? Right? If there was only one wrestling company, you wouldn't have anything to compare it to, right? So you just be looking at that one company. So why is it because there's multiple companies you choose to compare it? Just look at it for what it is. Now, what's bad is just bad. That's why you never hear me say they should do it like they did it. This company should do it like they did it. Or they should do it how they did it back in the day. No, I'll make the comparison like when you hear me say the Road Warriors looked and sound like men. The Ultimate Warrior looked and sound like a man. Sting looked and sound like a fucking man. You know, shit like that versus these little boys and these little girls, man. Alundra Blaze, China, they sound like women. They look like women, not little girls, not little Barbie dolls. This is what I'm saying. In fact, let's take the most muscular chicks right now. Okay, put it you like this. Look at Jade Cargill's character. Look at Bianca Belair's character. Look at Jordan Grace's character. Now tell me, do any one of them motherfuckers even look believable that they could beat China or Awesome Kong? Yeah. Yeah, do it even, and even though Jade's all much, but does it look? No. No. Two wrestlers that have some size on them that it would look believable that they could, well, skill wise, I don't think Lash Legend think China would fuck her up. Awesome Kong would fuck her up. Megan Bayne, I could see going toe to toe with both of them. Because Megan Bayne does have some size on her. She's not as big as China. She's tall. You know, I know she used to play volleyball. She was an athlete. But I mean, she's strong and she can go in that ring. But you understand the point what I'm saying. Is not too many fight. Honestly, outside of Megan, Jordan Grace is muscular, but she's little as fuck, man. Jordan Grace is like this big and probably like about 135 pounds. And even when she's on the plump side, I couldn't see Jordan Grace beating China on no motherfucking Awesome Kong. Now, it's not like it's impossible because Gail Kim did it. Now, Gail Kim is ultra skilled. Okay, Gail Kim is very solid. Isn't it funny how they always want to talk about the greatest women wrestlers, but they don't bring up Gail Kim's name? Yeah. See, that's what happens when you don't end your career in WWE. Well, Gail Kim is no longer in TNA. I don't know what caused that, what happened. I know that Madison Rayne works still in AEW. It's funny because the last pay-per-view, Dynasty, I swear I didn't even recognize that was Madison Rayne. I didn't even, because when she walked in, I was doing something. This was during the kickoff, the press, or whatever, the kickoff, whatever you want to call that shit. The kickoff show, whatever. And when I saw her, I didn't know what the fuck that was. It wasn't until I watched the replay again. And I'm like, oh shit. And I really looked at it, and that's Madison Rayne. So I don't know. I know that, you know, Gail Kim was working with the female division. And I don't know what else they had her doing in TNA. But, you know, when people are assets to a company, sometimes it takes people to like, they may go somewhere else and then their talents is used the same way and they get to, you know, better results or whatever. Who knows? You know, I don't know. But, you know, just saying, you know, even for Gail Kim to beat the Awesome Kong or China, it would have to like take everything she has and hit and move, stick and move, and bottom line, it takes something other than her just out. Like, I mean, she's not gonna out muscle them. She in this day and time in wrestling, this is what I'm saying, man. You know, Chris Statlander would give them a go. She would give them a go. She got some size on her too. But you understand what I'm saying? It's not. That's my whole point. It's not a whole lot of women that I even look at and say I would love to see her tonight. China would crush them, man. Awesome Kong would crush them motherfuckers. It's just the way it is, man. You know, and That's part of what I'm saying. And that's why when I look at somebody like Jade Cargill, I'm like, why are you not? Why are they using her the way they're using her? Why? You know, Lash Legend has some size on her too, but she's not ready yet. I might feel different later as time go on and see how she developed. But like I don't see like Lash Legend is, and that it looks so weird to me to see a woman with some size, height on, and everything, and then she's there getting beat up by a 115-pound woman. That I don't understand the psychology. There's really no real psychology in this wrestling right now. It's really that shit just looks so stupid to me, man. It's like I don't understand what happened, but like I said, the ruggedness. Well, AEW got that shit back, but yeah. Ever since they started this intergender match shit, I don't mind it on video games, but in real life, no, I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. And once I see that this is the direction that they're going, it's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? You mean Bryan Danielson have to kill himself to be the big guy? Rey Mysterio has to kill himself to be the big guy? But Tessa Blanchard can beat these big guys? I'm just saying. Make that make sense. So yeah. We'll see what Mariah May decides to do. And just like I said, if she goes to WWE, watch how many people jump on the bandwagon. If she stays at AEW, watch how much hate people show her. And just because they made the offer doesn't mean she's going to accept it. We don't know. Maybe she turns it down. I don't know what she's going to do. I don't really care. Now, would I like to see her back in AEW? Yeah. Of Mariah May. But, it's like they claimed Toni Storm was going to leave and go back to WWE. And that didn't happen either, right? Just saying, y'all. I don't care about rumors, but when I read that article, it's like, yeah, WWE made the offers. But hey, guess what? They've been turned down before. But whatever she decided to do is what she decided to do. That's all I got for you guys now. Catch you guys on the next one.